So, in the TED Talk, Unconscious Bias, Stereotypical Hiring Practices, Gail Miller says it takes only 6 seconds for a recruiter to review your resume. She speaks further on the concept of unconscious bias and how we all have them and need to learn how to recognize them so we can make better decisions. These unconscious biases can lead to equal employment laws being violated. Human resource professionals are responsible for upholding their organization's commitment to providing equal employment opportunities to applicants, potential applicants, as well as employees. In the TED Talk, Gail Miller, a talent acquisition leader and advisor, speaks about how during the resume intake, phone interview, and in-person interview processes, unconscious biases are at work at every step, steadily disqualifying candidates based off of attitudes and perceptions specific to that recruiter rather than the candidate's actual qualifications. As one example of unconscious bias and just bias in general, we have Palantir Technologies, a company that is infamous for assisting in the capture of Osama bin Laden. They have been sued for having a discriminatory hiring selection process that resulted in discrimination against Asian applicants for 3 engineering positions. Overall, one of the job classifications with 7 vacant positions had a pool of 730 qualified applicants, but out of the 77% who were Asian, according to Palantir, only 6 were hired, or 6 non-Asian were hired, and 1 Asian was hired out of those 730 qualified applicants. Even at a company as big as Google, biases and unconscious bias still show discriminatory practices. According to Arne Weilberg, she was fired on the grounds of retaliation. Tom Chevalier, a former Google employee, complained about the company's resistance to culture change. And James Damore, another former employee of Google, claims to have gotten fired for questioning the company's diversity policies. Are there major unconscious biases at play in Google and Palantir technology recruitment and selection processes that need to be addressed? Only about 54% of employers consider graduates of online and in-person programs to be equivalent to degrees from, say, an on-campus graduate. This is something that someone like me will be facing in the future when it comes to recruitment and selection after graduation. In 2012, a poll of U.S. employers, respondents were asked which types of colleges they preferred to hire from, and the results were ambiguous. Company executives and hiring managers considered online colleges inferior to every type of on-campus college. This means when I interview with companies after obtaining my degree, I will ultimately be faced with questions from recruiters that inquire why I chose to complete my degree online rather than on campus. Questions, interrogating the reasons why that choice was made, as if it were a bad choice. This line of question itself can be the existence of an underlying bias that individuals who graduated while attending class primarily on campus may deem online learning as less than or less deserving of the title. These are just some of the challenges that online graduates face after graduation.